Hey, welcome to Better Not. I'm Will.
And I'm Zach. And today we're at Tent City. We're doing a brewery episode, and we're going to be sitting down with the brewmaster and getting the lowdown.
Getting the lowdown.
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, welcome to Better Not. We are here at Tent City. This is the show where two coworkers bet beers on topics you can easily Google the answer for. But we're here doing a brewery episode. We're going to go get the owner and brewmaster, Kendall, and we're going to talk to him about his beers. All right, well, we're here with Kendall of Tent City. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Tent City?
I'm Kendall. Me and my wife and Brian Vogel opened this place up 8 years ago. Okay. We're all local. I grew up in Atascadero, graduated Atascadero High. My wife from Templeton, Brian's from South County. But we were just homebrewers forever. And then back then, there was no other craft beer on tap in Atascadero. So we're like, let's do this. And started making IPAs, and mostly that's what we make, pale ales and IPAs.
Yeah. What was the year again?
2012.
2012. Wow.
So you guys kind of put Atascadero on the map, because I mean, there's so many breweries in. If
we're on the map, I don't know. If
I think so.
Yeah, it's getting there, huh? It was just Camosi's and Whiskey and June's were the only thing, and the theater was brand new back then. Okay. So it was I'm pretty excited about the downtown now, and we got Wild Fields, we got Dead Oak, we got Santa Maria Brewing coming in, another Colony Mash is opening up soon.
Colony Mash, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But you started the beer scene.
I mean, it was definitely happening, just not in this area so much. Yeah. I think in 2012 in North County it was Dunbar Brewing. Oh yeah, he's in town now too.
Oh yeah, Dunbar's in town now.
It was Dunbar and Firestone, and then we were the third, and then since then I can't even name them all.
There's a million.
It's crazy
now. Yeah.
So I moved here shortly after you guys opened. So what was here before?
It was vacant forever. There was a bookkeeping. It was split in half. There's a bookkeeping office on this side, and this was like an old real estate office or something on the other side. But yeah, our landlord, he's great. It was just sitting vacant because there's nothing going on. He helped us out a lot, and he was excited about the vision. And it's definitely a challenge turning an office into a brewery. So it's partly why we stayed small a little bit, but
cool.
We love it.
So I know you have the brewing tanks out back. Is that the only place that you brew, or do you have another? Okay.
Yeah, so we've got 5 7-barrel fermenters, a bunch of cold stores, so we just kind of turn them as fast as we can.
Okay.
Before all the crazy shutdown and stuff, we usually would have 17, 18 taps. Now we're down to a few styles not down to a few styles, we're out of a few styles, but we still got like 10 up there.
Have people been coming in to fill up growlers and stuff?
Yeah, to-go's been good. We're open with our food truck because we can do outside seating only right now with food. So we're grateful we have that going on. Big back patio, big front patio, so there's definitely space for it. But
yeah, I like what you've done out back. We were here a couple weeks ago and got the grilled cheese. It's bomb.
It's
really
good, huh?
freaking good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty new, the out back area. You've always had the front. I also like on the side over here, you got the fire pit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's pretty nice when it's cold out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cozy over there.
Yeah.
Well, so you were one of the first here in Atascadero. Like, what do you feel like now in a more like lots of beer, lots of brewery in this area? But like, what separates you now? Like, do you think
from the other breweries in town, or we've always kind of stuck with clean traditional styles. If you can consider West Coast IPA traditional, I think it is. But we're all about West Coast IPAs and pale ales. We didn't really jump on board with the fruit beers or the hazies or the sours or some of the trendier stuff that's coming out. We dabble a little bit in the hazies, but the other breweries are great at those beers. So we're going to stick to like lagers and West Coast IPAs basically. We love our lager program. We were talking about earlier the Oktoberfest, that's a lager. We've had our Mexican lager forever, and our Pilsner. It's off tap right now. Hopefully coming out soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's lagering away right now, but just clean, clear, drinkable beers is what we like to drink. So that's what we make. And
So speaking of clear beers, my favorite beer is a Hefeweizen. Why is it that nobody makes just a regular Hefeweizen over here?
I don't know.
There's nobody.
I think maybe that they used to a little more, and maybe sales dropped off a little bit.
Okay.
It's definitely not a sought after style right now.
Okay.
But all these beers, they come in and out of fashion,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
hopefully it'll come back. We've never done it because it's a yeast strain we don't use.
Okay.
It's we usually just use German ale yeast for our lagers, or German lager yeast for our lagers, and then Cal ale yeast for our ales. So it's hard to manage 2 yeast strains in a little brewery like this. So getting another one would be a whole nother headache. But hopefully they'll come back. They're good.
Yeah.
And I want to say Dead Oak has one.
You know what? You're right. They do.
And I heard they did a really good job at it. I haven't.
Keltenweizen or something like that.
Yeah, you liked theirs.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't forgot about that.
I didn't get to try it, but I think they are good at that style.
But it's few. It's very few.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I remember when I first turned 21 and craft beer was like non-existent because I'm old. It was like that Pyramid Hefeweizen 6-pack.
Oh yeah.
And Pyramid like Long Hammer IPA, and those were like the only craft beers you could find. But
Yeah.
put that orange slice on that.
Oh yeah, you gotta get that. I think that's what I got into when I first started drinking.
Yeah.
Like, because I think my first beer was High Life, and I was like, this is awful. And then I discovered Hefeweizen, and I was like, this is a really good beer.
Mine was Widmer.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, is that one?
Yep.
Yeah, we had that on the podcast recently.
We did. Yeah.
That was really good.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were talking a little bit before. What's one of the favorite beers that you have on tap here?
Our Mosaic Pale Ale is delicious. It's nice and dry, clear, crispy, super hoppy.
Yeah.
So we call it a IPA drinkers pale ale.
Okay.
It's 5.5% alcohol, so good beer to start on.
Mm-hmm.
Our IPA will get me pretty quick, so have a few Mosaics before.
For sure.
And then the next one is, I just love our IPA. It's just classic West Coast style. The hops in that one are Citra and Simcoe, 2 of my favorite hops. Just big dry hop.
Yeah.
It's usually comes in at 7% alcohol.
Okay.
And nice and dry. And the dryness of those 2 beers, it's just refreshing in the hot summer days and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
So is that like one of the characteristics that you like most in beers? Is that dryness?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of my thing I seek. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now where does that like actually come from? Because we've talked a lot. Like me and him we drink IPAs and we like them fair, but like they're not our favorite.
Yeah.
But like, what draws you to that dry, the hoppiness?
I think I like a refreshing palate. Like beer that you'd classify as not too dry will linger on your palate a little bit.
Okay.
Might make the extreme opposite would be like a imperial stout or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that might make you like thirsty, you want a
Right.
glass of water, or you're only gonna want a little bit of the beer. A dry beer will like
Make you want
you can
more.
make you want more. Maybe that's bad to say, but
That's really interesting. I definitely feel that way after an IPA. Like I want to keep drinking more beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the way to start your night. You know,
And
start with an IPA.
one of the reasons they do come across as dry is there's less residual sugar in it. It's like fermented down to lower than like a big stout or a dark red.
Is that because there's more alcohol that there's less sugar?
Not more alcohol, just depends on, doesn't matter. You can make a dry beer with lots of alcohol or high alcohol. It just matters how far the yeast took it down, which we do with different brewing tricks, different types of barley, temperatures, and so we can kind of arrange a beer to finish how we want it to.
Yeah.
Okay. One last question. I know you're working and you probably have a ton of stuff to do, but have you ever brewed wine before? Or fermented wine?
Fermented wine.
No.
Okay.
And is there a big difference between
Yes.
Okay.
Are you talking about like wine, or using that as like some sort of cider or a beer or something like that?
No, just wine in general.
Okay.
I've always wondered if it's harder to make wine or if it's just completely different process.
I think it's just totally different. I couldn't attest to how hard wine is to make. I feel like home brewing wine or home fermenting wine is pretty difficult, so it might be hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just where you get your sugar from that makes it wine or beer. So we get our sugar from barley. Wine gets their sugar from grapes. And
Okay.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like you're so scientific with all that. I guess you have to be.
But I was gonna say our seltzers are kind of new.
Yeah.
That's like
You
a
guys are
new.
doing seltzers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had, what was it, a berry one?
Yeah, we had a wild berry.
Yeah, it was really good.
Now, what are you doing there? Like, what? How does that work? What do you do?
So we use a champagne yeast. So
Okay.
that's kind of like it's on the verge of making cheap wine.
Okay.
We're basically making really bad wine when we're making seltzer. But we use simple sugar and champagne yeast and really filtered water.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a champagne-y thing, and then we add fruit later.
Okay.
So
When you say really filtered, is that like reverse osmosis?
yeah,
Or, okay.
yeah, we use all reverse osmosis here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then you just turn it to bubbles.
Gets super bubbly and
Yeah.
dry like champagne. So
Now,
Do
I
you
know.
bubble it at the tap, or is it bubbled and you put it in cans?
in the tank. So
Okay.
it's not in cans. It's just on tap. So
Okay.
we ferment it in our fermenter.
Yeah.
Use a little bit of natural carbonization, and we want super bubbly for those seltzers. So we add a little bit more to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Force carbonate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's pre-carbonated.
Yeah,
before.
yeah, and then
That's
I-
interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Then I flavor each keg as we want. We have a lime one. We have we call it a Tascadero Mule. It's lime and spicy ginger. That one's pretty good.
I want to try that.
Yeah, well, I'll set you guys up
Okay.
as soon as
Cool.
And then, yeah, so that's as close as I've come to making wine.
Okay.
That's cool.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, I ruined your question. What were you about to say?
And I don't remember what it was
Oh,
now.
well, that's okay.
But yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you talking to us.
Cool.
So any last things you want to say about Tent City? Any promotion or anything?
Just come see us. I
Yeah.
think our beers are great, and we got some patios. I know it's weird times, but we can all socially distance on our patio and have some grilled cheese sandwiches.
Definitely. Cool. Well,
thank you so
appreciate
much
you
for
having
coming.
us here, and thanks for being
Cool.
on the show.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Cool.
Let's try some beers.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, well, we just got done talking with Kendall. Really awesome to hear about his beers, hear about Tent City, and we're here. We're going to try some of the beers.
Yeah, he hooked us up. He gave us 6 beers.
And we've got the seltzers. I haven't tried any of these seltzers.
I tried one, but the one that I tried, he didn't give us. So this is all new to me.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I've had his main beers. I haven't been here personally in a little while, so this is going to be really fun.
Yeah,
So we're going to try these. We might not do a bet this episode.
that's fine.
We'll see.
I bet that we will.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Mini bet.
Are you going to bet against me?
I don't know. Okay, well, so let's try these beers. This is gonna be really yummy.
All right. Yummy, huh?
Yummy, yeah.
All right.
And these are definitely larger tasters. These are like 4-ounce pours.
Yeah,
So I'm excited about this.
definitely.
Okay,
What do you want to start with?
let's just go top to bottom.
Okay.
Start with beers.
Start
go,
with the
go
lager?
through the seltzers. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with the lager, which I don't think I've had his lager.
I have, but it was a while ago. It's very good.
Oh my gosh.
You know what
That's
that reminds me
classic.
of is Coors Original. It just has that like
Yes.
just good
Yes.
hearty flavor.
Yeah, really clear and crisp, like he was talking about. Which, yeah, so it's really interesting to hear him talking about the clean and crisp, and I can definitely
Yeah.
taste that in the lager. It's such
And
a clear
it is
beer,
super clear.
but for like it being that clear, it's so interesting that it's got a good body to it. You know what I mean? And that is a good similar thought process to the Coors Banquet.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I would definitely say that it's got a good mouthfeel.
Yeah.
It's kind of just not warm, but like it just has a good.
It's
know.
kind of bubbly.
Yeah.
Like it sits right there. It's it kind of sits on the back of my.
It's not dry or anything, you know. Even though I know you said that the hops were dry, but sometimes you have a beer and it's just like my mouth's kind of dry afterwards.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean that's what he was saying more so about the Mosaic and the IPA.
Okay.
So Maybe we should have started there to dry our appetite and then get into more beers, I guess. Yeah. Really good. Yeah. I really like that. I don't think I've had that. I think every time I come in, I got their Mexican lager they had for a while.
I think that's what it is.
Oh, is this the Mexican lager?
I think so, yeah.
Well, then maybe that's why I like it.
Okay.
Because that's usually what I got. I thought it was darker. I thought it was darker than that, though.
No. I mean, it's a lager. It shouldn't be.
Well, sometimes, like, a Mexican lager is, like, dark, you know? Like, Dos Equis is pretty dark.
Is it?
Oh, is it? Or is it just in a dark bottle?
And
I just always assume it's dark. You know, that's what it is.
Judging a book by its cover.
Judging a book by its bottle.
Yeah.
Or beer by its bottle. Okay. That one was really good.
Speaking of beers by its bottle, we haven't talked about this yet. This is not a beer.
It's not.
This is a probably like 4-pound trophy that I won here at Tent City. On December 10th, 2016, I was the second place winner for a beard growing competition.
And you said that there was a secret team of people trying to beat you.
Yeah, so
like all locals.
The guy that got first place, he was a member here. So I get it. You know, he had a good following behind. And the way that they judged was you go up, you say something in the microphone, introduce yourself, and then they look at your beard and it's based on claps. Well, this guy had way more people. I only had 3 other people here clapping, you know.
Okay.
But everybody, my beard was definitely better than this guy's. But
was it?
You know, I still got second place.
Second place isn't bad.
So yeah, I brought this today as
I love that.
Memory.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I actually use it as a doorstop for my garage.
So you thought it was gonna have beer in it?
Yeah, and the bartender gives it to me. I'm like, man, this is a heavy beer. I go up and I'm like, what's in this? And he goes, concrete.
Well, how do you even do that? Like, so did he like put the liquid and the sand in it, like the concrete mix, and then?
Yeah, and then just capped it.
I think that's smart. You should sell those. Or you have to win them.
Should I?
Yeah, you should sell those.
You think there's a big market for concrete beer bottles?
I think by the end of our podcast, after 20 years of doing this, we should have.
This
our
is
own
what
brewery.
my life has become.
We haven't hit a year yet.
Yeah.
This is like episode probably like 37 or something like that.
Okay.
Which that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Episode 37.
Yeah, not bad.
I don't think it's episode 37. It's probably like, I don't know. I've lost track.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try some more.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so let's move down the list. Mosaic.
Okay.
Ooh.
You know, I like it. It's not too hoppy.
It's got like, this is the weirdest thing to say, a magic flavor in the middle.
I can
Does that
see
make
that.
sense?
Yeah.
Like kind of like this sort of like hint of something bright in the middle.
You know what's funny is you wrote down the beers on here and it looks like it says magic.
Maybe that's why I wrote that.
Instead of Mosaic.
So like when you have like a regular IPA, and I know we talk a lot on this show like that, we're not the biggest IPA fans, but like part of what we don't like is the bitterness, but there's something else in it too that I don't like, I guess typically, but this has, it's dry like he was talking about, but there's something like, not necessarily like magical, like not necessarily like sweet, but like something in the middle.
Okay.
The middle of the flavor palette, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not overly hoppy. This is like the perfect amount of hops that I would buy this. You know?
Yeah. I definitely don't think it's over hopped.
Yeah.
Which I guess that goes into what he was saying about his favorite hops. Like using a certain strain of hops might be what we're tasting. Like instead of the more dry or the bitterness, like their strains that they use might be some of that sweetness that we're getting.
Right.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I actually haven't heard that much scientific like thought process. I know there's a lot of science and stuff in brewing beer.
I had so many questions I wanted to ask him, but I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm literally like gonna just basically have him explain to me how to make beer, like, you know, the scientific way.
Well, I think over the course of this entire podcast, like as we go on, I think we'll know how to make beer, and maybe we should try it.
You know, maybe we should. I think we should. We should brew our own beer sometime.
Yeah.
Let's do a brewery episode.
A brewery episode.
A brewing
episode.
Yeah.
I just remember that one time. I don't know. I think we did talk about it on the show, but about you making beer that one time.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got the kit and you were so excited about it. And then you just like rushed it so much. That was so funny.
We were having a couple drinks and my buddy Mitchell's over and he's like, let's brew this thing.
And I was sitting on the side like, you know, like it takes time to do this and you want to make sure everything's clean. And
yeah, it all has to be sanitized and everything. And I just freaking dump everything in all at once. You're supposed to like let things steep for a certain amount of time and stuff. Dude, I tried one of those. It was the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life.
It probably actually had like real bacteria in it instead of like yeast.
Yeah, it definitely had some chunkiness to it.
Oh, chunkiness? That's rough.
Yeah.
All right. Continuing to move down. IPA.
Excuse me.
IPA. Let's do it.
All right.
That's great. That's fantastic. That tastes really good.
I like it a lot.
Are we becoming IPA guys through this show?
Absolutely not.
But why is that good? Like,
there's one thing that I can say definitively in my life, and it's I will not be an IPA fan.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, it's got to be the strands. I wonder, like, a lot. Like, if it's like the strains of the strands of yeast, the strains of hops that he's choosing. That's making it not taste as bitter in your face.
Yeah.
It's not a bitter in your face. It's a smooth and tastes really good.
It is very smooth. Yeah, a lot of those IPAs, you drink it, and then when you get done taking a sip, it's like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
It absolutely does not happen with this one.
This is actually probably my favorite IPA now.
Now we're moving on to the POG.
All right, next up is POG, which is
pomegranate,
orange, and guava.
Okay, I have a feeling that this is going to be my favorite out of all.
Oh, really?
Out of the seltzers.
Okay.
It tastes amazing. It smells absolutely delicious.
You like the smell? Yeah, the smell is fantastic. This is so good.
It smells so refreshing. Like when I'm sitting in the pool, this is what I want.
I think that guava is like what is perfect for the pool.
I think I'm going to get a can of that to go.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like the seltzers are like coming into the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just like crazy that he's brewing his own seltzers. That's just mind blowing.
A lot of people are.
No, really?
Yeah. Barrel House has just released one, and then they're going to be releasing another one. Yeah. I had it yesterday, and it was like lacking flavor. It was good, but it needed whatever flavoring they put in there. It needed more of it.
But that's like the Bud Light seltzer and all these other seltzers is like they're good, but they don't have these are like punching with flavors, and you can even like see like their opacity, like
opacity.
Wow, how opaque they are.
That's a big word for the podcast, Will.
I use opacity a lot in video editing and photo
I'm sure
editing.
you do.
I do every day.
All right.
All
right, moving on.
Well, you could just see like there's something in there. You know what I mean?
Well, it's jalapeno, so let's try
Oh,
it.
yeah, this one's jalapeno. Okay, moving on to jalapeno and
it doesn't
pineapple.
smell like
He said
jalapeno.
it's spicy, so.
Oh, that is spicy. Dude, that burns.
What? That is so weird.
It tastes good, but
it does taste good.
Like, it burns, definitely burns.
I kind of just want a straight pineapple one.
Yeah.
If it was just pineapple, that would be really good, too.
I like the pineapple in it.
Oh, but he said to cool it off, you put the lime in it.
Yeah.
The pineapple lime, that would actually be really good, too.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said for some people it's too spicy. For me, I think it is too spicy. So maybe I'll have him put a little bit of the lime in there.
That would be cool. Okay, last one. The mule. This is probably going to be my favorite. It looks like a mule, too.
Oh, that's good.
It just tastes like a mule,
it does.
poured out.
Yeah.
Like on tap mule.
Yeah.
That's
I wish
really
I would have
good.
had the jalapeno last. My mouth's on fire. Woo.
Dude, that's like
It's really good.
Tap mule.
Yeah.
But I guess, it doesn't have...
It definitely... it has like the perfect amount of ginger in there.
Yeah, but you don't need the liquor, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that is a good mule right there.
Yep. Definitely. Cool.
Wow. Those are really good. I don't think... Those don't even like... I can't gather my thoughts. Those aren't even like seltzers to me. Like I feel like each one's like a mixed drink. You know what I mean? Like that's how.
Okay, yeah,
that's how
I get what you're. Okay,
I
I see that with the mule. This one definitely tastes like a seltzer to me. This one, it's a little too spicy, but
it's so unique and like flavorful that it tastes like it's an actual mixed drink rather than a seltzer to me. Mm-hmm. When we tried the Bud Light seltzer and any of these other like mass-produced seltzers, or hard seltzers. Like I tried a White Claw over a past weekend, and it was too light. You know, it had a hint of flavor, kind of like more like a LaCroix, where it's just essenced rather than these are. I mean, again, the opacity is thick. Yeah. But then
I think you just learned that word.
No, opacity is a thing.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it is, but I think you just learned it because you keep using it.
Well, I mean, because this is what we're talking about, like their see-throughness.
Sure. Right.
Ability to see through.
Let me tell you though, if somebody poured this into a mule with some ice, I wouldn't know the difference. I would not know the difference.
Exactly. Yeah. I want a gallon of that to go. That's so good.
That's good.
The mule is amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely our favorite out of the
It's like
three.
It actually like tastes like a mule on tap.
It's pretty.
What are the alcohol contents in those?
They're all 5.5.
5.5, really? Cool.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, so yeah, definitely the mule is my favorite.
I heard something about too spicy.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna ask you if I could pour a little bit of that in.
This is our most White Claw-ish one.
Okay.
I still think it's more flavor. This is just lime.
Okay.
Lime by itself, and
then pour a little bit
pour
of
that in the other one.
Jalapeno.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, like look at the opacity on that one. Yeah.
That's good.
Way more clear.
That's really good. This definitely tastes like a White Claw.
Yeah.
For sure.
How clear it is. It looks like you're drinking water.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is put it in your water bottle, take it to work.
Yeah. I don't know if you should say that or not.
If my boss is listening right now, I'm not doing that at work.
All right, let's try with the mixture.
Oh man, how heavy did you go with the mixture?
Poured about half in there. You're right. It definitely takes away that spice.
Mm-hmm. It was good.
Yeah.
There's a margarita, fish gaucho, jalapeno pineapple margarita.
Oh.
My favorite margarita on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like
pretty close to that. For sure.
That is really good.
It is good.
It's good.
I like it with the lime in there a lot.
Oh, these are all fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Tent City in like probably 2 years.
No.
Oh, I know you and I came last year.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got the same thing I always get. And there's so many more on tap now.
Yeah, every time I come, I get the red. It's definitely my favorite. But I like this Mexican lager a lot, so maybe next time I come, I'll get that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get the seltzers.
Cool.
I know that's a fad, but
you're a fad kind of guy.
I'm a fad. Well,
not denying it.
No,
whatsoever.
sure. I'll ride the wave. Ride the wave. Just like the flag. Motorcycle guy driving by. All right. Well, these are incredible seltzers and beers.
Yeah. And
Tent City's incredible. We loved being here. Brewery episode number 1 at Tent City. Really awesome experience. This is really cool. I mean,
he opened the place up for just us.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, we're here alone. No one's here yet. They're doing a bunch of work in the back. But so, it's been a fun experience to have kind of hands-on with the owner and brewmaster kind of stuff and learning about that. So I hope that we can try to dive into this on other episodes and try to like maybe go to Firestone and see behind their scenes and all this stuff. Even CCB would be fun.
We talked about doing the tour at Firestone before, so maybe we'll do that.
I think it'd be really cool. And it's just absolutely awesome being here. Thanks to Kendall. He's in the back. Thank you so much for having us.
Yep.
Just absolutely incredible beers. Definitely come to Tent City. Try it out in Atascadero. If you're driving Highway 101.
You can't miss it. They've got a big sign out front that says beer with a finger pointing towards the building. So,
but if you're on your Central Coast brew tour, right, definitely Tent City. It's in between Paso Robles and San Luis Obispo. Yep. So they definitely have like the map here. Like stop in Atascadero, try it out. It's fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are we talking about next week?
Well, next week we're going to be talking about Flat Earth. We've got our guest sitting to the side here, and we're going to talk to him about Flat Earth and his opinions on that, and just no real bets or anything, just kind of like talking about it because we think it's a fun, interesting topic.
We did have a bet.
Wait, what was our bet?
Our bet was the population. What percentage of the population believes in Flat Earth?
Oh, that was our bet?
Mm-hmm.
This is the part of the show where Zach is way more prepared than Will is. And is that what we talked about?
Yeah. I don't know if we ever came to an agreement, but we will for next episode. By next episode.
We'll look into it.
Yeah.
So we're still going to be at Tent City next episode, and definitely check that out. We're going to have Tyrone, our coworker, on the episode, and you definitely don't want to miss that one. So tune on next time, and thanks for listening.
All right. Peace.
Peace. The Better Not Podcast is Zach Freeman and Will Cobb. We are produced by Cobblestone Productions and edited by Will Cobb. All music you hear in the podcast is written by Will Cobb and mixed by Chad Mcilvenna. Please go like and subscribe to us at Better Not on both Instagram and Facebook. And please, please, please join our Patreon. Just for $5 a month, you can support us and make this podcast even better. $5 is equivalent to buying us a craft beer per month. That's not too bad if you're listening to this podcast 4 times a month, which is 4 hours a month. Why not send us a beer?